This is about the fourth house next to yours. The family living there is planning to. My dear child, if you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says this is the moment you cannot afford to skip. Archangel Michael has issued a command with urgency in his voice, and heaven has delivered this message directly to you. Do not ignore this. This is not about coincidence. This is not about curiosity. This is about divine protection, about hidden truths surfacing, about the fourth house next to yours. You've walked past that house more times than you can count. You've glanced in their direction. You've exchanged words. Maybe you thought it was just an ordinary family. But now heaven is telling you they are planning something that will shake you. A revelation has been prepared. And whether you're ready or not, it's about to come to light. There are things happening near you that you cannot see. There are conversations happening behind closed doors that include your name. There are secrets buried just feet from your destiny. And the family in that fourth house, yes, the one you're now picturing, they have been watching, listening, and preparing something under spiritual instruction. You need to understand this is not just about them. This is about something heaven wants you to know, because the truth will change everything. They are not random. They were placed near you for a reason. Some parts of this are divine, but some are rooted in darkness. God says, do not be afraid. What is coming to the surface is part of your liberation. What has been buried is being forced out into the light because you have prayed too hard, cried too long, and suffered too silently. Now the truth must speak. There is a spiritual exposure unfolding, and it begins right next door. You will begin to see signs. You will begin to feel strange energy when you pass by. That uneasiness, that's not paranoia. That's discernment. You are feeling what has been cloaked. Energy, intentions, tension, and truths, too heavy for the natural mind to detect. Archangel Michael has seen the hidden plans. Not just their words, but their hearts. And while some in that house are innocent, one person is holding on to a secret about you. A secret they swore never to reveal. But God is turning their heart. There will be a moment, it is close, when they break, when they confess, when they can no longer hold back what they've known. When it happens, don't be surprised if the message comes in a strange way. It may come through someone you'd never expect. A knock, a note, a whisper, even an anonymous delivery. But it will shake the atmosphere around your home. You need to be spiritually alert, because this revelation is both a warning and a reward. A warning about how closely the enemy tried to operate within your orbit, and a reward because your obedience is finally being honored. God says, I saw every time you walked with kindness. I saw how you helped others even when you were bleeding inside. I saw how you stayed quiet instead of defending yourself. And now he says, it's time for vindication. This family holds a piece of your spiritual puzzle. One member among them has carried guilt for years. They were shown something about you in a dream, a warning they didn't speak on, an instruction they were too afraid to carry out. But the Spirit has been stirring within them again. Your face has returned in their dreams. They are being awakened night after night with visions. They are hearing whispers they don't understand. They feel a weight, a divine pressure to come forward. And when they do, your world will shift. Don't think for 1 second this is just neighborhood drama. This is about divine alignment. God has placed you in this location not for comfort but for collision. A collision of truth and timing. The enemy worked hard to distract you from noticing what was right in front of you, but no more. The veil is lifting, the plans are unraveling, and the 4th house is about to be the epicenter of a spiritual shockwave. Archangel Michael says they were warned not to mess with your energy. One among them disobeyed. They dabbled in spiritual realms they didn't understand. They invited something dark into their space, something that watched you. That spirit did not have permission to touch you. Your angels made sure of that, but it lingered, trying to mimic your energy, trying to gather information. But now that spirit has turned on them, and they are terrified. They will come to you. Not just with a message, but with questions. They will ask you things they don't even understand themselves. Be wise in how you respond. Be firm, but be led by the Spirit, because what you say next will either ignite healing or trigger deeper chaos. The secret they reveal will break your heart, but also set it free. You may feel anger at first. You may ask, why didn't they tell me this before? But know this, divine timing controls everything. And even this delay was necessary. Had it come too early, you wouldn't have been ready to carry it. Now you are. Now your spirit is equipped. Now your discernment is strong. And most importantly, now your authority is undeniable. You are not who you used to be when this began. That's why God waited. That's why Archangel Michael stood silent until this hour. Now the message is clear. Prepare yourself. Prepare your space. Pray over your home, especially near your front door and the wall closest to the 4th house. Anoint your property. Speak scripture aloud, because once the revelation comes, there will be a release of spiritual energy, both good and bad, that must be directed. Your angels are ready. But your voice is needed, too. The moment you receive the revelation, you will feel it in your body. A shiver, a heat, a pulse, something in your spirit will confirm this is it. This is what heaven warned me about. And when that happens, know that everything after that moment is acceleration. Doors will open faster. Money that was stuck will begin to flow. People who ghosted you will try to return. Your name will be cleared in places where it was slandered, and opportunities that once passed you by will come back around because the spiritual blockade is being removed. But this message comes with responsibility. You cannot return to how things were. Once truth is revealed, ignorance is no longer a shield. You must step into your full authority. You must protect your energy like never before. You must bless your home daily. And you must be wise about who gets access to your time, your voice, your gifts. Because now you are walking in spiritual knowledge that others don't yet understand. And that knowledge makes you a guardian. God says you are a light in your neighborhood. Your presence shifts the atmosphere. That's why demons near you have been agitated. That's why people have projected their fears onto you. You didn't do anything wrong. You just carry power. And that power exposes what others hide. That's why the fourth house watched you so closely. Some were curious, some were intimidated. But one of them knows exactly who you are in the spirit. And they've been waiting for the moment to approach you. That moment is now. Do not respond with fear. Respond with authority. Speak life. Speak peace. Speak protection. You are not alone in this. Archangel Michael is posted at your door. Gabriel is standing at the intersection. Raphael is covering your heart. And your guardian angel has already mapped out the conversation that's coming. You will not stumble, you will not be shaken. You will be bold because you were born for this. God says your location is not a coincidence. He placed you exactly where this revelation could reach you. He allowed the tension because he knew you could handle it. You are a breaker, a truth bearer, a light bearer, and this is your hour. Everything hidden is coming to light. The family in the fourth house will not be able to suppress it anymore. What was spoken in secret will now echo in the spirit. What was planned in the dark will now be judged in the light. Watch what unfolds over the next few days. Dreams, visions, sudden shifts. You will feel like you're walking through a spiritual movie. But don't be confused. This is not fiction. This is fulfillment. Prophecy is activating in real time. You are stepping into your role as a spiritual leader whether you asked for it or not. And yes, it will feel lonely at times. But you are never alone. Heaven backs you. Angels walk with you. And God has chosen you to stand as the intercessor between light and darkness. This moment was always coming. You just didn't know it would come this way. But now that it has, walk boldly, speak carefully, pray deeply, and trust fully, because this is not just a message. It is a turning point. It is a gate into the next dimension of your purpose. And it begins with what's about to be revealed from that fourth house. Finally, God says, I love you too much to let you stay blind. That's why I sent this message. That's why I gave Michael the order to speak. That's why I delayed the judgment so the truth could reach you first. Now that you know, act. Now that you see, pray. Now that you've heard, rise. This is your hour. Do not ignore it. The revelation is already in motion. Prepare for the shock. Prepare for the truth. Prepare for your freedom. And now heaven has moved. The sword has fallen. The trap she set for you has been broken, but not without divine confrontation. The angels of the Lord intercepted the snare. The conversation she planned to use against you has been spiritually reversed. What she meant for harm, what she thought you'd never find out, what she hoped would destroy your name, has now become a divine weapon of justice in your favor. But listen closely. Though the trap didn't succeed, the war is not over. What happens now is the part you must be most awake for. The exposure has begun and it cannot be reversed. The woman has been unmasked in the spirit. Her plans have crumbled. Her lies are trembling. The fake light she wore is fading. But this is when she becomes the most dangerous, because now she's desperate. Now she knows she's losing access. Now she knows you're awake. And desperate spirits will do anything to preserve the illusion, even if it means creating chaos, confusion, guilt, or false reconciliation. Do not fall for it. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. The tears may be real. The apologies may sound sincere. The timing may look divine, but it's all a cover, because once a mask is removed, the enemy's last resort is sympathy. But this is not the time to rescue her. This is not the time to second-guess the message. This is the time to stand with holy strength and say, I choose obedience over comfort. I choose clarity over confusion. I choose purpose over people. The atmosphere around you has shifted permanently. Things may feel strangely quiet. You may feel a hollow space where connection once lived. That's not loneliness. That's divine vacuum. Heaven has swept your environment. Angels have purged what was contaminating your anointing. This feeling of loss is the sound of deliverance. It's the price of clarity. But in this clearing, God is planting something you never thought you'd experience again. Peace. Not the fake peace where you had to keep pretending. Not the uneasy peace where you were walking on spiritual eggshells. This is the deep, true soul-level peace that only comes after war. The war over your life has been raging for months. In the spirit, there were councils of darkness that discussed how to weaken your power. Your name came up in rooms of both heaven and hell. They knew what was on your life. That's why the attacks came so silently, so deceptively, so emotionally. The enemy didn't want to destroy you by force. He wanted to get you to destroy yourself through misplaced trust, emotional ties, and spiritual distraction. And the woman God just exposed, she was one of the enemy's favorite tools. She nearly succeeded. There were nights you almost turned your back on your calling because of how exhausted she made you feel. There were mornings you woke up confused about your purpose because she introduced self-doubt into your most divine spaces. She used flattery as a leash. She offered help, but it always came with a hook. And though she said she loved you, it was never love. It was envy disguised as empathy. She needed to stay close so she could study your power and mimic your favor. But mimicry is not mastery. What God placed on your life cannot be copied. She tried to become you but failed. She tried to sabotage you but heaven intervened. And now as she scrambles to recover, God says, let her go. Do not look back. Do not text her. Do not explain yourself. Do not negotiate. This is not abandonment. This is obedience. Obedience is messy sometimes. It makes you look heartless. It makes you feel cold. But this isn't about ego. It's about elevation. And if you truly want the next season God promised you, then you must accept this next truth. Some people are only loyal to your silence. The moment you begin speaking truth, they begin wearing against you. That's why she's been reacting the way she has. Because your awakening threatens her position. Your boundaries dismantle her manipulation. Your clarity is a mirror she can't stand to face. She had a role in your old story, but your new chapter has no room for counterfeit characters. And God has torn that page. This is the page of newness. This is the season of sudden reversals. This is where the very thing she tried to take from you returns with interest. This is when people who walked away from you because of her lies begin to see the truth and come back apologizing, broken, weeping, not because you asked them to return, but because heaven reordered their sight. What she tried to bury, God is resurrecting. What she tried to curse, God is blessing. What she tried to twist, God is straightening. And the very place where she hoped you'd be humiliated will become the very ground of your public honor. But be wise, though the exposure has happened spiritually, some parts of this unraveling will happen slowly in the natural. She may still appear composed. She may still hold influence. She may still carry an audience, but none of it is real anymore. God says her time is finished. Her voice is void. Her favor is counterfeit. Do not be distracted by her temporary platform. Her fall is in progress. And when it happens, you will be tempted to feel guilt, to doubt your discernment, to step in and rescue. But you must not. This is the fulfillment of heaven's justice. What you are witnessing is not cruelty. It is cleansing. God has been merciful for too long. The lies went on too long. The manipulation stole too much time. But now time has caught up with her and she can no longer outrun the truth. As for you, you are stepping into a new alignment, a new protection, a new clarity. Things will begin happening quickly now. God will open new doors in the next 7 days that were locked for years. You'll see opportunities that bypass everyone else and land directly in your lap. Not because of luck, not because of charm, but because you finally passed the test of spiritual maturity. You listened. You obeyed. You walked away. You believed heaven even when everything around you said stay. And for that, heaven is rewarding you with accelerated favor. The kind of favor that makes others say, I don't know how you got that, but I know it was God. Archangel Michael now speaks to your spirit and says, you are safe. You are protected. You are clear. You are covered. You are no longer deceived. He stood guard while you slept. He wept when you doubted yourself. He fought for your destiny when your hope nearly collapsed. And now he rejoices because the trap failed. The counterfeit has been exposed. The divine has triumphed. And your legacy is intact. There will still be tests ahead. There will still be whispers from the shadows, but you will not fall for them because now you see, now you know, now you walk with eyes wide open. Now your spirit cannot be seduced by soft lies and sweet words. You carry discernment like a sword. And no counterfeit will come near you again. Heaven is proud of you. Not for being perfect, but for being willing, for trusting again, for obeying through the shaking, for walking even when afraid. You've made it through the hour of exposure. And now finally, you enter the hour of elevation. If you believe in God, type Amen. Archangel Michael says, do not ignore this under any circumstance. What you are about to discover will shift your understanding, clear away the illusions, and place you face to face with a revelation that was never meant to remain hidden. This is about the fourth house next to yours. Yes, that house. The one that never really caught your full attention. The one whose silence concealed more than you could ever imagine. That family has been keeping a secret. And that secret is no longer safe within the walls of their home. The time has come for it to be exposed. This is why heaven pulled you here. This is why your spirit stirred without knowing why. Because something is unfolding that involves you directly. And God will not allow you to be blindsided. God says, my beloved, I need you to listen carefully now. Do not be afraid. Do not let your mind run wild with panic. You are safe. You are protected. You are surrounded by angels. But this message cannot be delayed because the moment is now. The people in that house have been watching you, not with eyes of hate, but with hearts full of something unresolved. They know something about you that you do not yet know. And though their intentions were once tangled in fear, guilt, and uncertainty, they are preparing to come forward. Not because they are ready, but because I, the Lord your God, am moving through their home and shaking the silence that held the truth hostage. You are going to hear something that will catch your breath. Something that will feel almost too heavy to believe. But I will walk with you through every moment of it. You will not collapse. You will not lose. You will not be destroyed. You are being prepared, not punished. You are being elevated, not embarrassed. This revelation, though shocking, will open the doorway to something greater. What was hidden in the dark is being pulled into the light. And I am the light. You are not being harmed. You are being helped. Archangel Michael stands in front of you now, his hand stretched forward, commanding every spiritual force that has tried to harm you to step back. He has encircled your home with a ring of fire that no weapon can penetrate. He says they almost got away with it. But heaven intervened. What they're planning to tell you is tied to something they've held back for years. It's about a conversation they had, a deal they made, a decision that involved you without your knowledge. They never intended to come clean, but something happened inside their home. An angel was dispatched into that house. An invisible presence swept through their rooms. One of them had a dream, a vivid, terrifying dream where your name was spoken. They woke up crying. They couldn't breathe. And in that moment, they knew it's time to tell the truth. God says you must prepare your heart not to be afraid but to understand, not to run away but to stand strong in your divine identity. You are not a victim. You are not weak. You are not going to crumble when the truth arrives. You are going to rise because I have been preparing you for this. Every strange feeling, every moment of confusion, every sudden emotion that made no sense, those were the nudges of the Spirit alerting you. And now your spirit will bear witness to the reality of what I reveal. There was a document. Something written, something hidden, something with your name on it, a decision made about you without your consent. It involved property. It involved legacy. It involved a connection you thought was long forgotten. That family, 2 of them especially, were entrusted with information. At first, they didn't think it mattered, but then the information grew heavier. It started to affect their peace. It started to weigh on their sleep. And no matter how much they tried to bury it, my hand kept pulling it back to the surface. Now the moment has come. You may feel angry at first. That's okay. You may feel betrayed. That's human. But don't let those emotions bury the blessing, because what they reveal will shock you, but it will also unlock something for you. The pain will be temporary. The truth will be permanent, and after it all, you will stand in a better position than you ever were before. Archangel Michael says, you have one job right now. Stay calm. Stay close to God. And stay spiritually aware. This message didn't find you by accident. It was sent with precision. The revelation from that house will arrive when you least expect it. But you will remember these words and realize heaven tried to prepare you. A woman in that house has been holding back the truth the longest. She was once warned in a dream to tell you, but she ignored it. She was shown the image of you crying. She was shown the impact of her silence. Still, she stayed quiet. But not anymore. Something happened just a few days ago. A spiritual breakthrough in her heart. She heard a knock on her bedroom wall that had no earthly source. She saw a flash of light. She heard your name again. This time she could not shake it off. She has since been looking for the right words, the right timing. But there will never be a perfect time. So God is pushing this forward now. The revelation is coming in waves. You may not hear it all at once. It may begin with one small comment and then another. You'll notice they suddenly try to get closer to you. You'll feel their energy shift. They'll drop hints, but eventually it will all come out. And when it does, you must not react with vengeance. You must respond with wisdom, because this is not about shame. It's about divine justice. I am the Lord your God, and I bring truth to the surface when it's time for healing to begin. There is something they wanted to tell you for years but couldn't. Someone from your past, someone connected to your bloodline, gave them instructions regarding you. They were supposed to pass on something, but didn't. They convinced themselves it wasn't important. They convinced themselves you wouldn't understand, but they were wrong, because the thing they've hidden would have changed your life. And now it will. You must be ready, not just emotionally, but spiritually. You must armor yourself with prayer. You must walk through your home and speak my name into every room. Declare peace. Declare protection. Declare understanding. Because when the truth hits, the enemy will try to use it to bring division. But I am ahead of him. I am already in your future. And what he planned to use against you, I will use for you. This is not the beginning of chaos. It is the beginning of closure. Archangel Michael says, the atmosphere around your home is shifting. You may start to hear strange things, sounds in the night. Movement near your windows. These are signs not to fear but to pray. The spirit realm is active. I am positioning angels around your home. Reinforcements have arrived. The air is heavy with anticipation. You will feel it in your body. You will feel it in your dreams. But you are not alone. My spirit is upon you. My presence will not leave. Be careful who you speak to during this time. Not everyone will understand. Not everyone is safe. The people from that house may not be the only ones connected to this. Someone else, a relative or someone from a past relationship, may be looped in. They will try to reach out once the revelation breaks open. Be discerning. Ask me before you respond to anyone. Not everyone is sent by me. Some are sent to confuse. But you will know by their fruit. You will know by the peace or disturbance in your spirit. God says, your name is about to be spoken in places it was once hidden. The truth that was covered is now uncovered. The enemy worked hard to delay this moment, but he failed. What I have ordained, no force in hell can stop. You are not weak. You are not fragile. You are not powerless. You are my child. I have placed my seal upon you. I have written your name in heaven, and I will restore what was delayed. I will bless what was blocked. I will return what was taken. This message is your spiritual briefing. Your moment of clarity before the shaking. You will soon understand why you were kept in the dark. You will understand why certain things never made sense. You will recall strange moments, sudden stops, delayed blessings, and you will realize they were connected to this secret. But now that the secret is no longer hidden, the blessings that were once frozen are being released. This is not just about property. This is not just about the house next to yours. This is about destiny. This is about legacy. This is about restoring what was broken generations ago. What you will soon hear has roots in the past decades ago, but the consequences are still alive, and now I am healing it through you. Archangel Michael says, remain alert. Watch their body language. Watch their eyes. Pay attention to what is said and unsaid. You will feel the energy change. You will sense the tension. Do not fear it. Face it with the authority I gave you. You are a warrior. You are a prophet. You are a light in this generation. And no matter what comes out of their mouths, my favor will rest on you like a shield. God says, this is your moment. This is your revelation. This is your turning point. You will not walk away broken. You will walk away empowered. You will walk away with the truth. You will walk away with justice. And you will walk into the blessing that was delayed. Not one tear you cried was wasted. Not one prayer went unheard. I was watching all along. I waited for the right moment to act, and this is that moment. Now pray. Even if your voice shakes, even if you don't know what to say, just speak to me. I will fill your heart with peace. I will give you words. I will guide your next steps. And when they knock on your door or call your name or drop the first piece of the truth, I will be standing beside you. You are not alone. You are not unprepared. You are not unworthy. You are chosen. You are rising. And nothing will stop what I've ordained for you. Not even the secrets of the fourth house.